I feel like I just reminded me of Paul Chamberlain there. But behind me is the most innovative, the most luxurious fifth wheel toy hauler available on the market today. This is the all-new 2024 Brinkley RV Model G. Get this, you don't have just one, not two, not three, but 4 awnings on the Brinkley RV. I'm talking 3 on the door side and 1 off the back to cover over top of the patio. This thing is gonna give you all kinds of coverage, whether it's sun or pouring down rain. At the front of the Brinkley, you're gonna see it, they're using a Gen Y pin box. This comes standard, and you do have the ability to swap this out and go to a gooseneck Gen Y if you wanted to. This is gonna hook into your normal fifth wheel hitch. The benefit to this thing is going to create up to 90% of a smoother ride when you're towing a fifth wheel that's nearly 40 feet long. Now this thing also, in combination with the Sumo springs and the upgraded suspension, this should be one of the smoothest riding fifth wheels available on the market. Let's show you what's underneath of this brand new Brinkley RV. Here you've got a 5,500 watt generator. This is manufactured by Flex Power. At idle, it's gonna be quieter than some of its competitors, and it has the ability to run off of gas or propane, which means you could be out in the middle of nowhere and have a much longer run time, be able to stay off grid for longer. Now the unique thing about this is you also have the ability to switch between propane or gasoline while it's currently running. That means you don't have to shut it off and switch fuel sources, which I think is pretty darn cool. Now let's transition over here to some of the other power instances. So they've got 200 amp hours of lithium ion batteries manufactured by Renogy. They're also heated inside, so that way you can use this during freezing temperatures. Attached to that is a 3,000 watt inverter that's attached to everything on the inside of the coach, so that means you could even run the microwave off of the inverter. Now, in combination with that, up top on the roof, you're gonna have 4 200 watt solar panels, which means you've got 800 watts of solar that are 12 volt. That way you're not losing any power trying to switch from 110 to 12 volt, which is gonna be super unique for any other fifth wheel that's out there and available. All right, so we're doing this walk around and I see this little thing here. It says Dexter Tow Assist. So I had to hit up my manufacturer rep out there at Brinkley. Thank you, Rocky Sites, for the introduction on this, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and read through because frankly, I couldn't remember all the details that this thing had to offer. So this is the Dexter Tow Assist. This thing has anti-lock brakes on it, okay? And in combination, they're using an automotive-based computer in combination with those axles. It's going to have integrated speed sensors, anti-lock brakes, sway mitigation, and towable odometer. The sway mitigation means it'll literally stabilize the trailer at roughly speeds of around 40 miles per hour. Incredible, right? So up front, you've got your storage for your 1 30-pound propane tank. However, you're gonna have the ability to go up to a larger propane tank. Not only do we have space on this side, but we also have another propane tank on the other side. Now, take a look on the interior passenger storage. First of all, it's huge. But secondly, if you wanted more, they also have an area here where you just simply open this up using magnets. It'll connect to that front storage area, so now we can stow whatever we want inside. I mean, you should not be complaining about storage with this model. Now, they're currently using a patent-pending slide-out tray from Moride, and how it's patent-pending is they're using a straight rail chassis, and underneath of that chassis, or underneath of the I-beam, they're installing these Moride storage boxes. So simply release it here, the whole tray slides out. This is just one of a few other ones that we're getting ready to show you. Now also what's unique with that is over here to our left, we're gonna have a 12 volt cooler so you can keep your drinks right here without having to go all the way inside. Now there's a few other things I wanna show you on this interior passenger storage that I felt were a little bit unique. The first one is the fact that you have an outside shower here that offers both not only cold but also hot water. So not only do you have one here, but you also have one over on the opposing side. And that came from Micah and his family going out on a big cross-country trip in the original Brinkley Model Z. And that was some of the feedback that they got from some RVers themselves. Which, by the way, guys, everything I'm getting ready to show to you on the inside of this coach, the people that are making this actually camp themselves. And they're listening to you. So any feedback that you may have, be sure to leave us a comment down below. So back at it here. Inside, you're gonna also have switches for all of your LED neon lights, okay? They can all be accessed right from here, but also a unique thing is you can run your slide outs in or out all from outside here. So we have controls for our main slides in the middle inside there, and we also have a control for our bed slide, and we'll talk about some unique features there in just one moment. And lastly, there you have not just one, but they have 2 amps in here for some of the best sounding sound systems available on the market right now. It's the Rockford Fosgate. It's got like 8, 9, 10, 12 speakers, I don't know, but I know that the music that's gonna be coming out of the undermounted speakers underneath of this thing is going to be incredible. And the nice thing about those speakers being undermounted is now you don't have a hole cut out in your sidewall that could possibly end up posing a potential for water leaks in the future. Brinkley RV is doing it right. Now, transition over here. Let me show you something about the entrance door, okay? The entrance door has a screen defender already installed on it. If you got furry little friends here, that's just a little metal grate to prevent them from flying out or busting through your normal screen door. Now, also attached to that is this little hook here. This guy is going to allow the screen door to automatically close right behind you there. That way, if you got some stuff inside of your hands, you can go out and not worry about the dogs flying out from back behind you there. Now, the other thing that's unique on their entrance door is the fact that you have a keyless entry. So simply put in, whatever your numeral code is there, and if you forget your keys, or maybe you just didn't want to bring them because you went to the pool for the day, at least now you can easily access the inside of your coach. Now let's open this back up. Show you here, everybody knows about these MORryde steps, but if you haven't seen them, you're gonna see them now. These things just simply fold up. That way all the dirt, dust, and grime flows off. You can just simply lift these guys up, and they're gonna ride right in the entrance door for travel. And then over here to the left, this is the all-new safety rail by MORryde. There's a pin here that simply removes. The benefit to this thing is when those steps are down, instead of you having to step up onto one step and then grab a hold of that big grab assist handle, well, now you can grab a hold of something nice and solid here first, then you can enter up inside of the coach. Now, as I'm down here and thinking about it, they also have a propane quick connect underneath you here, which means for those of you that like to grill out outside, you can bring along your little propane grill and hook right into that connection that'll feed from those 2 30-pound propane tanks that you have up front. Now, it's hard to see, but this thing has ground effect lighting all the way around it, which means at nighttime, you can show off your brand new Brinkley RV Model G. Wouldn't it be nice to have something that looks this good sitting in a 40-foot campsite? I know, I wish I could. Now, underneath here, you're gonna also see they have a storage hose for your sewage hose. Okay, that's accessible not only on this side, but also over on the other side, because there's not a bumper on this model. Now, we'll show you why that is here in just one moment. Now, while we're down low, I also wanna point out the fact that this model has not 1, not 2, but 3 on both sides. We got 6 hydraulic auto leveling points with this, which means you pull into the campsite, you click a button, and the entire RV is going to level itself out. That way, while your friend's over there sweating as he's setting down blocks and boards, you can be set up with a beer or a glass or whatever your beverage of choice is. You can be back, kicked back, and relaxing. Now, let me keep showing you a few more things. Come on over here. Okay, so if you see right up and underneath here, they're using Cooper tires. These things are H-rated. Okay, those H-rated tires are gonna be the highest rating possible. That way you don't have to worry about any tire blowouts when you're cruising down the road. With those tires, you're gonna also see that they have custom 16-inch rims. These rims just look good. I mean, that's all I can say. And back up and inside there, they have MORryde CRE 3000, which is almost like an independent style suspension that's gonna give you a few inches of travel in the suspension in either direction to be able to help provide you the utmost comfort inside of your massive truck that you're gonna be pulling with this thing. Now, here's the unique feature that nobody really knows about this that I didn't know. They're using sumo springs up and underneath here. I said that right, sumo springs. That's a common thing that many people add to Class A motorhomes to help improve ride quality. This thing, I'm telling you, is going to be one of the best riding fifth wheels available on the market for that reason. Now, I'm gonna show you a few more things here. We'll keep flowing. So back here by the entrance door, you now have 4 steps to enter into your rear garage there. Still have all these same benefits that we had on that front entrance door there with the screen defender and the screen assist, as we were mentioning. And if you see right up front here, they're using square windows all the way around the entire coach. Okay, those square windows not only allow this thing to look much more automotive and better looking for that matter, but also there's something unique inside that we're gonna show you, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you now. Now, when we talk about automotive design, that automotive design means that this, believe it or not, has no seals on the exterior at all. Let me ask you a question. Do you reseal your car to prevent it from leaking? Probably not. Well, the Brinkley RV, neither do you have to. So they say, we'll see how that holds up over the years. You still do have your normal lap sealing up top there on the roof, but nonetheless, they're using a Turnabond tape and all kinds of other things on the bare bones of the product to be able to prevent it from having any of those long-term issues that many of us probably know if you've had some RVs before. So give me a moment, we're gonna show you what the rest of the coach looks like. So we're at the back half of the coach. As you can see, you've got a rear patio here. This is the longest patio door available in the industry. It's 100 inches long. And what that means to you, if you have a motorcycle that has a very low height to the ground, you're gonna want as much of a gradual grade to put this thing up in the back of your toy hauler. They nailed it with this, I'm telling you right now. Now this model has a gross vehicle weight a little over 21,000 pounds. Believe it or not, you can put 4,000 pounds worth of cargo on the inside of this coach. Whether that's in the back in the garage, whether that's all the way up front, the whole thing is rated for 4,000 pounds. That is not always the case, ladies and gentlemen. Keep following me over here. I've got so much to talk on. And I gotta apologize, by the way. We couldn't find the keys to this thing, and this is a hot button for me, okay? There is a retractable air compressor hose inside of this thing that goes out like 40 feet long almost. Gives you the ability, or not 40 feet, 40 inches, maybe 40 feet, gives you the ability to fill up anything, man, whether it's your tires on the coach, whether it's the tires of the motorcycle that you're bringing along with you. That's just so unique and something I've never really seen before. Super cool, and that attaches here to this 110 volt air compressor. That's key here, ladies and gents. 110 volt means that it can go up to 135 PSI. And that's important because the H-rated tires they're running are 123 PSI. The little 12 volt air compressors that some other brands are using typically only goes up to 85, which is gonna be a problem if you're running low out there on the road. Now, these tires also have a built-in tire band from TST, which means you have a tire pressure monitoring system inside that you can display on your front dash as you're cruising down the road. It'll notify you if a tire is starting to get low. That way you can safely pull over before an accident happens. Talk about peace of mind, right? Now, this model has not one, but two 30-gallon fuel tanks. Okay, one's gonna help feed that front generator. Of course, the other one is also going to fuel just any of the gear that you may bring along with you. It's got its own little fuel pump here. You can see this thing comes out, fill up your gear there if you wanted to, put that back in there, and then over to the left, you have an on and off switch for that fuel pump. Okay, keep following me over here. Got some more good stuff to share. This model is a bath and a half, which means you got that black tank flush there in the rear for the half bathroom. And all the way up front, here's where the good stuff's starting to come in. It's all good stuff, right? So underneath here in the storage, you've got another storage tray here. Okay, this thing slides out, and look what it houses. It houses your rear ladder. That ladder is going to telescope and gives you the ability to extend all the way up to the top of the coach to be able to perform any maintenance as needed. And it also stores your rear patio entrance steps. That's right, there's rear steps that hooks onto that back patio so you can climb up and in from the back, first having to go all the way inside. Now right up and above that, they have a power cord reel. Okay, that the power cord itself will plug in over here to the left, and when it comes time for you to store it, just simply put it right here on that reel. Talk about convenience, right? Now up and above here, they're using a Girard on-demand water heater, which means if it's you and 3 friends or you and all the family, everybody can take showers back to back without the issue or the worry of running out of hot water. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, I got to talk about real quick, for those of you that want to know it, we got to talk about some slide stuff, okay? The first thing, the floors are made out of composite paneling, which means you're not going to run into the issues that you may have where water seeps back down and rots out the wooden slide floor, because it's composite. You don't have to worry about that at all. The other thing is that these slide outs are also going to be hydraulic driven, okay? For those of you that have been around big heavy machinery or equipment, you know that hydraulic fluid is the best way to go when you can. Now, since we're talking about that slide, you're going to see there's a blue line there, and that blue line is a heated hose that takes care of your ice maker. Yeah, ice maker, I said that. We're going to talk about it once we get in there, but many RVs that have an ice maker, typically that whole line outside is exposed and it's not a legit 4 seasons coach, so you got to be careful. They're taking it just one step further. Now, we're talking about those slides up top here. You're gonna see that they're using a slim rack for their bed slide. Okay, that slim rack is a little bit better than some other companies out there. I can't say the names because I also sell those products, but the slim rack is much more forgiving when it comes time to vertical movement. Why that's important to you is because you could be a little bit off kiltered or a little bit unlevel per se, and you're not gonna run into many of the other issues that some of those other brands are using. Again, we're thinking the Brinkley difference here. Now come on up here, cameraman. I gotta show them what's inside of the storage area because it is magnificent. Come on in here. So the first thing is your Nautilus system here, okay? The Nautilus system gives you the ability to do all kinds of stuff related to water. Whether you wanted to fill up your fresh water tank here, or if you wanted to simply winterize from out here, you can all do it from this one central location. Now, check this out. Do you see these brass fittings here? Well, they're using brass fittings throughout the entire coach. Instead of using those cheap plastic fittings, they're upgrading them right from the manufacturer. That way you don't have to go in and upgrade them yourself. Now, this also has an integrated city water connection hose. Check that out. You don't even need to bring your water hose with you. They got one built in, hooks directly up to the campsite. Now, we're talking about water. What you don't see, and that's back behind this convenience panel, is the fact that this has a triple water filtration system. Triple water filtration system. Okay, you're gonna get the cleanest water going inside here so that you can take the freshest shower, and you don't even have to worry about any of your plumbing lines collecting any of that extra sediment and possibly clogging anything. That would be super nice, wouldn't it? Okay, now up and underneath of here, you're gonna also see that you have electric tank dump valves. Okay, that's going to prohibit you from having to climb up and underneath of the coach, pull on a cable to manually open up your dump valves and allow all that stuff to drain out. Instead, we're just gonna simply push a button. Electronically, those dump valves are gonna open up, and then with a push of a button, they're gonna close back up. Wouldn't that be nice? I know, guys, this thing is incredible. It's just next level. Okay, of course, we got our auto leveling system inside there. And the last thing I want to finish up with is right up front here. So come follow me. So when you're towing a fifth wheel this size, it could be a little bit concerning, especially with the overall length. Well, they're giving you some safety items to help you feel that much more comfortable, but also confident when you're behind the wheel. And one of those safety items is the fact that standard, you're gonna have blind spot assist cameras on not only the driver, but also the passenger side. And attached to those is a rear camera as well, which means as you're cruising down the road, you can see nearly 360 degrees all the way around your trailer. So we're inside of the Brinkley RV, and the first word that comes to my mind on the interior is residential. I feel like I'm inside of a luxury, high-end, downtown New York City apartment, yet I'm inside of a fifth wheel, ladies and gentlemen. The interior here is so upscale and so contemporary, it's unlike anything that I've ever personally been inside of.
The lighting in here literally makes me feel like I'm on stage.
As you can see directly behind me here, a little detail, for example, many manufacturers use trim pieces where the ceiling and the roof connect. And those trim pieces oftentimes are hiding imperfections. Brinkley RV isn't hiding anything. If you also notice, they're slide-out fascias. A lot of times when you see some other brands or some other manufacturers, there's oftentimes staple holes from all the different putty areas that they've filled in with those staple holes. Not Brinkley RV. That's one solid piece of hardwood that goes all the way across just to be able to give you that elevated feel that you'd expect in something of this dollar amount. Now let's get into some of the unique features, because on this model, there are endless things to talk about. So when standing inside of the kitchen area, you can see you have a massive island kitchen in here. Now, when Brinkley RV was designing this, we had a 50-50 kind of split pole here. Some people wanted an island, and also some people wanted a peninsula. Well, they took it just one step further and they gave you both. So not only do I have an island, but I also have this waterfall type cabinet or countertop that's going to lift up and provide us a little bit extra counter space. So if you happen to be, serving some guests, which I'm sure you're going to be doing inside of a toy hauler of this size. I mean, there's tons of sleeping and all kinds of room for you and your family and friends. I think you've got plenty of space here to do what it is that you need. And a couple cool unique features that they've added that I've never really seen is one feature here. Pull this thing down. That is a magnetic strip that goes across for your knives. I know, for some of you that like to cook, wouldn't it be nice to have all of your favorite cutlery right inside here? You don't have to worry about it sliding or maybe losing inside of some of your cabinets. The other thing that I found very unique is the fact that directly above this farmhouse style sink with that residential faucet, you've got a spice rack. I know, you guys are making me hungry too just talking about it. There is tons of unique features here, and it certainly doesn't stop. So let's keep showing you a couple more. If you slide directly behind me here, they're using a residential 110 volt refrigerator. Now there's a 3000 watt inverter inside this coach to allow this refrigerator to be able to run, but the nice thing is it pulls only 2.5 amps, which is very minimal for a refrigerator of this size. Now the unique thing with this fridge is the fact that not only do you have all kinds of space, but down low, you also have an ice maker. Now there's a heated line that's outside to ensure that that ice maker does not freeze when you're using this in full-time use. Now if you transition back over here, I get a lot of people that have walked into this, they're like, Justin, a nice high-end luxury fifth wheel like this doesn't have 4 burners? You're kidding me. How many of you at home are really using 4 burners at one time? Brinkley RV thought the same thing. Most of you guys are gonna be using 3 burners. They've got a nice metal grate here, so it makes cleaning up super easy, and that also gave them the ability to pick up this oven. Now, you're probably wondering what's up with the oven. Well, it's huge, but down low, there's also a little bit of storage that that big 4 burner wouldn't have offered to you. So when you're on the road, storage is gonna be important, and this, they nailed it. Let me show you a couple reasons why. You got a pull-out drawer here. This is a spot for your paper towel holder. Goes right back inside here, freeing up some of your counter space. By the way, did you just see that soft close door? Almost all these are gonna be soft closing. Now, if you see over here, if you like to cook, you've got your own cutting board. This thing is removable. You can easily rinse it off, throw it right back in. And then anytime you're inside of a camper, finding a spot for a trash can is always super difficult. Either it's right by the entrance door or maybe it's outside. Not inside of the Brinkley RV Model G. You've got a pull-out drawer here that gives you not only 1, but 2 trash cans. Guys, it doesn't stop here. I got more to show you. Check this out. More storage there. And then my favorite part, put a foot on here, voila. Adjustable shelves, huge pantry, and solid hardwood. This is the Brinkley difference. So the Model G is a full profile fifth wheel. That means you're gonna have taller ceiling heights inside, but also that means you have taller slide boxes. So that's what's helping achieve this massive modern day feel inside. It feels open and airy. But also, for those of you that are over 6 feet tall, that means you can stand up out of these very comfortable recliners and not accidentally bump your head and knock some sense into you. Now, it's kind of difficult to see because we have all the blackout shades shut down right now, but this thing has massive windows allowing a ton of natural light inside. But the unique thing about these windows is multiple things. The first one is the fact that you have solid wood treatments all the way around. Again, just kind of providing that contemporary upscale feel. But also, the blinds are very different. You'll notice you have blackout shades here for at nighttime, but then also during the day, we can slide these up You have daytime screens as well. Now, the unique thing about these windows is that these are frameless windows. They're square rather than the typical circular ones. And those square windows have the ability to extend out twice the amount of length or distance that any other manufacturer has, which means on those nice cool spring or summer days where you don't want the air conditioner running and you just want to leave open the windows, you're going to have tons of cross breeze coming through this thing. Now, when I talk about tons of cross breeze, you also have an exhaust fan that's up and overhead. That'll be used for that kitchen area, but also it's just going to help be able to move some air around in here. So I gotta be honest, I try not to sit inside of these things all too often at work because I'll probably get a phone call asking me, Justin, where are you? This thing is super comfortable. And not only is it comfortable, but I also have my heat and my massage seats on right now. That means at the end of a long day of having some fun, come in here, relax, sit directly across from that Philips smart TV. I can turn on the fireplace, get myself a nice little ambiance, and again, man, just make some memories of me, my family, and my friends. That's what camping's all about. Now, real quick, back to it. I want to show you this unique storage area that's right here to the left. Okay, this thing lifts up, and that means we can access all the storage down inside of here. A lot of manufacturers, instead of giving you access to the top, instead they put a cabinet door on the front. And let's be honest, you're not getting down on your hands and knees to slide all the way back in there and hopefully find what it is that you're looking for. Now, not only is that a unique feature, but also, check this out. Push these down, opens up. I've got 110 volt outlets along with some USB and USB-C ports. Now, they're also doing something unique with their slide out boxes here, and I gotta show you what that looks like. So if you look down low, you've got a flush floor slide, meaning that these slide outs are all on the same level, okay? There's no step up for them. The other thing, you can see that it looks seamless. You're gonna have linoleum on the slide that matches the linoleum on the floor. Now, a unique thing, and this is gonna be big for those of you that have had an RV and have had this issue before. We've ran through it many times. If you accidentally leave maybe a screw underneath of there because it fell off of the slide, or perhaps maybe something sharp slid underneath of the slide out, when you go to bring that slide out back in, a lot of times that slide will catch and it will cut the floor, leaving a slice right in the middle of it. And that's no good for business. Well, they took it a unique step further, and underneath of this slide out here, you're gonna notice that they're using an aluminum kind of sheet here. That aluminum is going to knock off any of those sharp, edges that could possibly pose an issue on the floor. That way you never run into that issue ever again. Guys, this is the Brinkley RV difference I'm telling you about, and there's so much more for us to chat on. So let's go take a look at the back garage and show you all those unique features. So we're in the back garage space of the Brinkley RV. This thing is fully insulated. I'm talking floor, sidewalls, that rear garage door, and also the ceiling. Now, the unique thing also is I've got my own air conditioner back here. It's a 13,500 BTU AC, and it pushes directly into this garage area. And also, right behind the cameraman, Mr. Nick, there's a furnace duct that'll be able to push force air back inside of here. So all I'm getting at is this is gonna feel just like the interior feels, not like that cold garage feel that you may have at your house. Now, as you can see, I've got two sofas that are opposing here. This is that Happijac system that almost every other RV manufacturer uses. You're gonna have a couple cup holders here on both sides, and the unique thing here is that both of these are going to, of course, tumble out and make into a small bed. When I say small bed, man, that ain't small at all. That's nearly like a queen, almost a king size bed. Now, one thing that Brinkley RV is doing that no other RV manufacturer is doing is the fact that their Happijac system is actually going to work independently. What I mean by that is, normally this is gonna raise up, right? And it's gonna lower down. That's all it normally does, okay? But what they're able to do is they have one side now can work independently, meaning if I wanna leave this sofa up onto the ceiling here, I can do that. And why you'd want to do that is maybe you have some gear that you want to bring inside here. You can bring that gear in, leave the sofa up, and now you have plenty of space to be able to leave that there, but yet you still have a sofa to be able to sit down at. That's a game changer, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the imagination room, as we call it. You can imagine anything that you would ever want to do with this, whether it's going to be a workspace. Maybe you take off one of these sofas and make it into an office area, or perhaps maybe you are bringing along those toys, whether it's a golf cart, dirt bike, four-wheeler. I mean, the possibilities here are endless. And the fact that now we have control of either one of these sofas being able to stay up towards the ceiling, that is just a unique thing that I think a lot of manufacturers are going to start doing now for the future. Now let's get on to some of the frills of this model while we're in here. Okay, you got some rear 3-season garage doors, which means we can slide those things off, keep the glass closed up, and that's going to make this thing feel like it's its own separate room. But on those nice, beautiful, days, we can certainly slide the glass down, allow all kinds of airflow to come through this thing, and be able to really enjoy the great outdoors. Now, a lot of common things that happen with a toy hauler like this is the fact that the loft or the extra sleeping area is typically inside where the living room is. Not in this one. You now have a loft right up and above you, which means you can keep your kids, your friends, your family. Everybody has their own separate room back here, and they're out of the living space inside. You've got a ladder here, but also, come take a look what's back in behind here. They've got their own bathroom in here, ladies and gentlemen. Their own bathroom. Now, not only is your guest going to have a comfortable spot to sit at, but you also have this entrance door right here. So for those of you that like to go out there, maybe go mudding or get a little dirty, you can come right inside, step onto this kind of hex style floor here, and go right into the bathroom and wash yourself up. That's a unique thing, and that's one reason why a lot of people choose these toy haulers. Now, if you also see down the middle here, they're using something called L-track. This entire rubber gasket will lift up, and there are different brackets that you can insert into any one of these areas on this L-track. So wherever your gear is, you can secure it safely without having like a D-hook here, one there, maybe one there. You have complete control on how you want to secure all of your items. Now, a lot of people behind me here want to know, what is this thing, Justin? What's that white box? Well, this model is not only prepped for one washer and dryer, it's prepped for two. I said that right. 2 washer and dryers if you wanted to in this model, and that's because they have a true 104 gallons of gray water. That's 2 tanks that all drain out of one separate single drainage area. Washer and dryer there, got some outlets. We have all of our main controls here that are also able to be accessed off of your cell phone app through one control. And by the way, they're using the Rockford Fosgate speaker system in here. It's hands down the best audio that's available in the market right now. I'm talking like 10 or 12 or 14 speakers. I don't know how many. It just sounds good. And you can be sure that you can blast some of your favorite tunes and set up some of the memories that all of us are so excited to have. Now let me spin around. I want to show you that back area here, and then we'll take you back inside and show you what the master bedroom looks like. So in the back area here, this is our rear patio. These things are hot to trot right now. Everybody wants one. I mean, look at this. Could you imagine a huge lake back behind me, or maybe a beautiful river and setting up out here? You got the dog laying out. I mean, this is the life that we all want. Now, one unique thing about this rear door is when it's all the way extended, it's one of the tallest doors within the RV industry. Why you care about that is because for those of you that have your low riding toys, like maybe a low riding Harley for that matter, it has a much forgiving or kind of graceful give to be able to allow you to pull your gear in and out of here very effortlessly. That's super unique. Now, also directly up and above here, we also have a huge awning that extends off of the rear. So literally I could keep the sun off of me and use this as a true outdoor patio. To the left and to the right, I've got Rockford outside speakers. So again, I could blast that music here and just have all kinds of fun. Let's go inside. Let me show you a few other things. On the way up to the bathroom and the bedroom, there's a couple unique features that I had to show you. And by the way, I think I've said unique in this video like 100 times. If you know how many, be sure to leave me a comment down below. But the reality is all this is super unique. I've just never seen really anything like it. First thing is right underneath the entrance steps here, you're gonna see that you've got a tray here. That tray is for your shoes. How many of you have been out in camping where all the shoes are piled up by the entrance door because mama don't want no shoes inside of the fifth wheel, or they're all outside and all piled up by the entrance door? They're thinking one step ahead. Now you got a spot to be able to stow all that out of the way. Now up here, follow me. you're going to see that you have a one control touch panel here. This is where you're going to be able to access everything related to your RV. Now, if you're like me and into the little techie stuff, all this can be controlled from your cell phone through the One Control app. Now, this is where we're going to control our HVAC, see all of our fuel gauges, etc. The thing is about the HVAC in this model, it's super different compared to some other brands. The first thing I want to point out, you've got 3 air conditioners on this thing. 3. Okay, we've got one up in the bedroom, one in the main kitchen area, and one back there in the garage. They're 13,500 BTU air conditioners. Now, some of you are probably wondering, well, is that going to be enough? Heck yeah, it's going to be enough. With the better insulation that this thing has, and the fact that these General Electric air conditioners are going to be pulling a lot less amperage than some other brands out there, they're going to be a game changer. What I mean by that is we're pulling only 34 or like 37 amps by running all 3 ACs at one time. I said that right. We can run 3 ACs all at one time without the worry of having to trip a breaker. Now, inside of those air conditioners, they're also using a heat pump. Those heat pumps are good all the way down to 25 degrees. 25 degrees. Most other RV manufacturers, those heat strips are good to 40s or so. So I think they're just thinking one step ahead to make sure that you can control this entire coach as if you were literally living inside of a full-blown residential home. Now come up top here, let me show you what the bathroom looks like. So this is gonna be the most time I'll ever spend in a bathroom in a video because there's so much to talk on. First thing, porcelain bowl toilet, just like at home. Over here to my right, I've got a spot for our toilet paper. Now that spot also has a magnet on it so it won't go flying when you're cruising this thing down the road. Over here to my left, lots of storage again, adjustable shelves, and that's crazy. And then underneath it here, we've even got ourselves a little spot for a trash can. Now, by the way, this model has an on-demand water heater. That on-demand water heater is going to be able to give you endless hot water inside of this residential style shower that has this beautiful illuminated LED lights with that nice skylight inside there. And of course, it's a one-piece fiberglass type shower. So that way there's no seams to have to worry about when it comes time for caulking. Now, let's go inside up there to the bedroom. We're going to show you all the cool things there. So we're up front inside of the master bedroom. This is where the magic happens, and they have definitely taken it to the next level here. I've got a king-size bed. I've got windows on both the left and the right for those of you that like to sleep with the windows open. And right up and above those windows, you've got some USB ports that you can simply store on both of those little shelves. And down low by each side of the bed, you also have some outlets. So plenty of space for you to plug in sleep app machines or some more of your tablets or technology. If you slide around over here, you also have a motion sensor light. So for those of you that gotta get up in the middle of the night, go use the bathroom, well, you can get up and actually see what you're doing. Pretty cool feature, right? Now, directly across from that king-size bed, you're gonna have a dresser, and it's like any other ordinary dresser, except got a little bit of hidden storage, which you don't need to tell anybody about. So this storage could be for any of your precious jewels or whatever it is that you're going to store back underneath you here. But I wanted to point out that you also have an available option from Brinkley where you can purchase through their parts store another wood slat that looks just like this. And that wood slat would insert directly over here. And the idea is that I have some clients of mine in a Brinkley that are using this as a workspace. So you can simply set up a little chair, use your computer, you got a window right across from here, and you can really enjoy every single detail of this entire model. Now, let me show you a couple of things behind me here, and we'll get this thing wrapped up. So we're showing you the second washer and dryer prep in here. We've got a closet that we could use as a closet if we wanted to, or we could put in a stackable washer and dryer. The prep is all right up and inside there. I saw this unique thing. This looks like a little laundry basket. Folds up, or when you're ready to use it, it folds out. Isn't that kind of cool and nifty? Again, we're thinking next level here. Now, I want to show you what the front closet area looks like. So you can see it's got this beautiful design to it. As soon as we open it up, we've got a LED light that goes directly across the hanging rod there. And back inside, it's kind of hard to see, but you've got a spot to be able to stow a cordless vacuum. That way it's out of sight and out of mind. So I hope you saw our excitement and our passion about the all-new Model G by Brinkley RV. This thing is next level. It is incredible, and I'm confident that I missed a ton of stuff on this model. And that's just because there's so much to talk about. Okay, I'm Justin at Beckley's RVs. You know what to do with the video. Go ahead, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to give us a comment down below, and make sure you smash that subscribe button. Got any other questions? You know where to find us.